This is part 2 of the drill bit video. If you missed part 1, it's where I said hello to everyone that has subscribed and those that have just happened upon the channel, but I think most of you have came from Rob's channel, and so as a big thank you to him, I am going to look at his first request, which was looking at drill bits. So let's scope out these tools. And also where I said and higher mags for the looking at the tungsten carbide, we were up to 55,000 times magnification. So now we're going to be doing the electron microscopy section. So let's get on at scoping out tools. Okay, so let's have a little look at these drill bits. So I've got the top drill bit here, which is the one that came with my Titan hammer drill, and that was the one that we had a look at last, which was the 4-fluted drill bit, Toolpak I think it was, and then these two in the middle were from the Minotaur. So I'm just gonna zoom up on this bit here and let's have a little look and see what we're having a look at. I'm just doing a quick contrast and brightness, and let's just do a quick focus. I think I'm quite low at the focus type thing just now. Yeah, I'm at a working distance of 15, and already we can see some contamination here. So there's some fibers, which is located in the middle here. That could just be actually the fibers that I was using when I cleaned it up. I've also got this residue as well. Again, this residue could actually be from the wipes as well. I'm gonna find out in a minute. Right, so let's just zoom up on this area. Okay, so I do actually have a tungsten carbide coating. If I just do here, so these do actually have tungsten, and the carbon's not there until I actually click on it. So let's just do a quick shot on one of the particles first, and that is a piece of tungsten, and then here, okay, so you've got some copper in that. Now that could actually be from the material underneath. I've got iron, cobalt and nickel showing up there. Let's actually have a little look at the backscattered image. Now the backscattered image can give compositional information. So as in it tells you from contrast what basically is around. And oh yeah, so here is likely, you can see all this dark stuff here is going to be probably likely the lighter element stuff. So if I'm going to click on the bright, the dark and the very dark. So the very dark I would expect to be carbon based, this to be a bit in the middle, and this to be more tungsten around. So if I click here and I click here, sorry, if I click here and I click here, then I should hopefully get one being high in tungsten, one being more titanium, going by what I'm seeing here. So let's just flip it around. Right, so I am now clicking on the light area, and you can see the tungsten peak is very much bigger. If I click on here, it's the titanium peak. So it's obviously titanium's the main coating, if not the main material. Okay, so we've got some, if I've just zoomed out and I've got some more contrast here. Let's double click and the black stuff's probably a fiber. Okay, so this is probably actually some grain contrast. So let me just do it as a slower scan. And you can actually see how the grains are shaped differently. So that means it's a relatively good polish if you can actually see the grains. So I'm just gonna again jump to it and just do a couple of instant shots. So the brighter area, so it looks like it's mixing up between this is where some of the tungsten it might be getting exposed. There's titanium and tungsten together. But interestingly, it doesn't appear to actually have particles on it. So let me just actually zoom. Yeah, here we go. So I'm up at 6,500, and we're starting to see the oops, sorry, let me just jump there. We're starting to see the tungsten particles. So let me just let me just focus on that. So these are the tungsten carbide particles, and you can see that they're, if I just bring the scale bar on, they're about 1 micron in size, so that's about a 60th of a hair. Obviously not my hair, my hair is thinner. Okay, so that's the rubbish one, which I think is actually, maybe it's more that my tip went. So let's just, so you can see we've got the tip here. And hopefully when we compare that, let's jump to secondary to make it a bit easier because it's the edge. You've got that very rounded tip. So I'm hoping that when we actually have a look at the sharp one, it will appear much more angular. Okay, so let's jump all the way over to this unused Toolpak one. One more thing, if you actually like the video, can you just hit the like button? And that's simply so that I know which content that you are interested in, so that we don't go down the route that I make something and say, oh, that has 2 likes, this one has 1, therefore I will go for the one with 2 likes more. And people go, why did you stop making that? So like the button if you like it. Right, okay, so you can see actually that's a nice flute there. So that wasn't the, yeah, okay, so we do have the rounded edge still at the tip, and that makes sense because we don't find it too sharp, but you see you've got a nice angle on the material. So let's have a little look at what the difference we actually see on it. So again, we're going to go to backscattered in order to see where the material is. Okay, so it's slightly different looking. Okay, and let's just do it as a slow scan just to see. Okay, so we do have some bright areas, some dark areas. Let's jump up. I'm just going to give it a focus. Right, and we do have some particles there. This is at 400 times. Let's jump up to 6.5, just because that's what we were at before. Give it a bit of focus, and let's see what. Well, one thing I am noticing is the particle size is not as uniform as the Titan one. I'm quite surprised at that. So see how you've got some larger pieces and some smaller bits. So let me throw over the scale bar. So that's 2 microns in size. So there are some particles similar size, but there's a lot of larger particles. So interestingly, that they are less uniform. You can see that here. how ununiform they actually are. Often what they do is they try and keep the most uniform particles, especially for polishing, but interestingly there. Now this one doesn't have titanium. If I just jump to here, we can see we've got our tungsten here. We have our iron, copper and nickel, but we don't actually have titanium. So let me just zap a couple of places. So I'm gonna zap a bright area, and sure enough that's your tungsten carbide. I'm gonna hit one of the dark areas, okay, and that's your iron. So this one has actually more iron in it rather than a titanium. Now I'm not sure if that's titanium or titanium coating. I'd need to actually have a little look over that up. So yeah, so that's interesting about how different that is. So let's jump to one of the fluted areas. Okay, so actually if you, let's go to a secondary. So you can see, that that's grooves of the inside of a flute. So you can see that's your flute inside, and then you've got the grooves of where the machining marks are. Let me just check another detector. Oh, that shows up quite nice. And that'll go around. So they're nicely curved, and that's the other side. So it's typically, it seems to be those grooves are on one side more than the other. Okay, and this, if I just jump here, is now just a pure iron. It doesn't have any tungsten in it. So because obviously they only put the tungsten carbide at the tip itself, because that's the curtain surface. So okay, so let's actually now compare the two Minotaur blades. Okay, I do apologize. Unfortunately, I have just went and edited the video, and it is still a little bit long with just the optical and then electron microscopy section. So I'm going to split it to a third part, and the third part will be having a look at the Minotaur drill bits, and that should hopefully be a shorter section. So hopefully you'll carry on watching this drill bit adventure of scoping out tools. Bye for now.